Hey, what is going on, you dead set legends? Hope you're all going well. Don't panic. I think Hollywood, Matt Connelly, and Dave Stockbridge are stuck in traffic, but this show can only go an hour today. I am sorry, everyone, because we know I love to bang on a bit. Hang on. Where's your video, guys?
Yeah, I just got to plug it in, mate.
Yep, just plug it in.
Right on the deck. That's all right. While you guys plug in the video, let me do all of my intros. Guys, as you can see, my YouTube and Patreon bangers, we are up to about 350 members. Of course, thanks for some generosity from Niagara Slammers. And we also have Mr. Percolay has been banging it out as well. But all of you guys that have been supporting the channel, I cannot thank you enough as we celebrate our 1 year anniversary of me doing this full time. And the outpour has been amazing. Who's in the chat? Give us a ready bang as all the names are still going. And I've still got to add like another 10 to 15 names to this list. And I hope all of you stay after King of the Table because it's only 50 cents a week. And you get some behind the scenes action. Even see me at the gym lifting weights. But thank you very much, everyone. As mate, it is still going. It is so good. I got to add another 15 names to the list as the fireworks go off. Who's in the chat? We've got. Let's go back up to the top. What have we got here? Kyle Quinn is in the chat. Hey, hey, hey. Sasquatch buys fishing channel. Anyone into fishing by hook or by crook? Go check him out there. Richard Jennings in the house says, good evening, everyone. Erebus Khan, ready bang. Nikolai doing the old White Wolf impersonation with a ready thang. Marco GT5 says, good day. Swisher Sweet says, AWE better than AEW. Hey, Swish, I don't know if you've got Foxtel, but I just recorded AWE on ESPN, so I can start watching Dano Mate. James Ant in the chat says, let's go. Not my monkeys, not my circus in the chat. Just getting plugged. Love that. Put your video on, guys. We've only got 57 minutes to go. We've got happy anniversary. Ready, bang, Aussie. Yeah, man. Blown away that it's been one whole year of doing this full time, and I cannot thank each and every one of you that support the show. I have 7 international trips booked this year and 2 local bookings. That's ridiculous. Jim Bob, ready bang. He's become a bit of a cult hero after the call-in show. Joe Fox is in the chat. How you going? Ready bang, says my man. White Wolf. Enjoyed having a beer with him. Joe Nilo is in the chat. What's up, everybody? Tony Cowser, ready bang. What's up, Jay? What's up to you? We're just waiting for Matt and Dave. They're the guys that have created AWE. They'll come back into the chat. Technology. King Hoddle. Ready bang. So we've Turd Burglar. Hey. Happy anniversary. I love the picture. I hope that's your dog because that's a great picture. The Devil's in the house says, Jay, good luck hoping this card breakdown will be crazy. Well, if we can get the guys on, will be happening. There's Christian Boz versus Brett Coots. We got Lars Bolter from South Africa taking on Tom Demkowski. Josh Barker versus Taron Broad. I'm excited. Lachlan Carpenter versus Brett Coots. Beautiful, that matchup. Adam Laura versus Marcus Atira. Marcus Atira is like the biggest man in Australia. The number 1 junior ranking on the line with my man, Jamie Barrett, taking on Hasma. And Mario Tambakis versus Gunters. And hopefully we can get the guys in the chat to talk about it. Hey, everybody. This is Ryan Bussier. What's happening, Ryan? You stud. Red Hot Chili Peppers. Ready? Bang Bros, you dead set legend. This past year, it's been amazing for arm wrestling events, and we just got to support all of them, including this weekend with the Matt Mask, Jordan Sonev match. Amazing work. Ready bang chat. What is going on? The Nightmare Dan Schwartz. Someone's been cheeky in the chat. but they have been hanging out. So I will give them a shout out. We've got some fishing enthusiasts and none more than, ultralight fishing. So 2 fishing channels in the chat. Go check those guys out for anyone that loves casting a line. Do we have the results yet? Yes, I know all the results, especially the Ryan Bowen Toddzilla match. I think that will be a fun joke for a little while. Ready, hang, says arm wrestling for nerds. So there's 7 matches plus the Ryan Bowen Toddzilla match where you have to go to Ryan Bowen's channel and buy the pay-per-view. It is something else. Okay, I was just saying, not sure what's happening. Technical issues down in Adelaide. Swisher Sweet, this is your fishing channel. Okay. You got 2 channels. Beautiful. There you go, Swisher. So these, we've got some mega. I don't know what's happening there. I'm just keep my phone. Let's try again. Well, there we go.
Hello.
We're gonna. It's not the first time they've been on telly. Just the about 40. No, we've got about 50 minutes to break down one of the best cards in Australian arm wrestling history. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 of my good friends, as one's just left the screen, so I don't like him anymore, has come in. They're good people. What they're doing is they're really trying to take a hold. They're not doing it for the fame. They're doing it for the love of arm wrestling, and that's why I've become very good friends with these 2 guys from Adelaide, and they are the owners, both co-presidents, whatever you want to call them. They are the men behind Arm Wrestling Entertainment. And on the left of the screen, you've got the dangerous one, Dave Stockbridge. And then next to him is his partner in crime, the man that gave himself his own nickname, which pisses me off. And that is Hollywood Matt Connelly. Boys, are we pumped?
Hello. Yes, can't wait. There's going to be huge. Biggest card in the Southern Hemisphere's history, we think. It's going to be absolutely massive. We've got 8 huge super matches, and we've got an international superstar in Toddzilla making his way all the way from the United States of America to come over here to face off against Ryan Blue Bowen.
Indeed.
It's going to be absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's going to be sexified. Dave, just give us a quick insight, mate. You've come aboard the arm wrestling world, which we're truly grateful for. You've teamed up with Hollywood. Guys, can we give Matt Connelly a new nickname? You need to be given a nickname. It's not by yourself.
Every time I come on this show, you're like, we got to get a new.
I think his
best,
nickname.
guys, you need to check out the story. The best is when I got you on the show, Matt, with Don Underwood. That was hilarious. But no, Dave, why AWE? Why now? Why are we diving into super match format?
There's several reasons for this. The traditional tournament format is not as watchable as what super matches are. Also, whenever there's a super match, there's a storyline. There's a reason for people to become engaged. You've got 2 warriors across the table. It could go either way, especially if you got your matchups right. It builds anticipation. Also, it's great for the athletes because it gives them something to work up to. It gives them an opponent to be thinking about. It gives them something to be focused on when training. And we know that arm wrestling can be won and lost in different lanes. And so for an athlete to prepare specifically for one opponent that might otherwise be, let's say, generally more proficient than them, but they've just got that one pathway to victory, and that's particularly alluring, I think, for fans and anybody that's tuning in and or buying the pay-per-view. They want to see the answers to those questions, and I think super match format does that better than any other. That and Matt likes it.
And you're definitely giving it to them, and you're also highlighting as well. You get to start building a very nice balance when it comes to not just the same international superstars, but you're also highlighting, which we're going to start going through in a moment, Australian arm wrestling. Matt, when you and Dave were booking this card with the 7 matches besides the Ryan and Todd one, the other 7 matches, what's Australian arm wrestlers like to deal with?
It's been good. Everyone's been, I mean, the amazing thing with the arm wrestling community, and you would know this as well. Actually, I've just noticed you're wearing one of our Titans t-shirts.
That's right.
Amazing.
Gotta let my boys.
Oh,
There's
that's
my boys
awesome.
club
Thank you,
over
sir.
there. Of course.
Oh.
Big man, not two. South Australian
Oh, it's
Titans.
amazing.
They're these guys.
We'll have to get you one of these ones as well. Actually, we've got one ordered for you.
That's actually an artistic interpretation of Hollywood Matt Connelly's right bicep.
Yeah, that was
They had to
drawn,
small the
traced
image
on them.
down. They had to make it small for the t-shirt.
Yeah, no, the guys have been great. In Australia, we've got some of the best talent. And the funny thing is, we've got basically every single national champion from the tournament that took place in, I think, in November last year for the Australian titles. And we've got the under 70 champion in Josh Barker. We've got the under 90 kilo champion in Tom Demkowski. We've got the under 100 kilo champion Mario Tembakis, and we're the open weight champion of Lachlan Carpenter. All these guys are on this card. So,
and then you throw in Brett Coots, who's
Yes.
a former champion, Gunter's Boykovs, who's spent some time off the table over the last 4 or 5 years, who's now returning, who essentially retired because of lack of competition at his level, and now sees that the levels raised, the bars raised, and maybe now's the time to jump back into the pool and test himself against some of Australia's best. So either current or former national champions are adorning the undercard in this event, which will and some really evenly pitched matchups as well, which is going to be really exciting for anybody that's tuning in.
yeah, I'm excited for every single match on this card.
There's some crackers. Every time I look and I'm like, that match will steal the show. And then I look down the card and I'm like, no, that match will steal the show. And then I'm like, hang on, this guy never has a bad match ever. That will steal the show. And then, so yeah, that's why, like, I'm really asking people. It's one, if you buy the pay-per-view, you got a chance to win potentially thousands of dollars from Ryan Bowen. 2, you're going to see some of the best people in Australian arm wrestling, if not the best, besides your Ryans and your Lachlan's, like the best arm wrestlers in Australia. 3, the card's awesome. And 4, if this is a success, you can see how awesome these two guys are. So what does that mean? More AWE. It's going to be brilliant. So let's kick it off. First of all, the woman that just makes everything happy and makes the Aussie arm wrestling smile.
Yes.
She's already banged my wife in the chat.
One
guy in the chat is definitely.
There you go.
Oh,
Look at that
keeping an
forearm.
eye.
the most
He's been waiting for this
forearm in arm
show.
wrestling.
So, because Josh Barker's in the chat, let's kick off with Christian Boz and Brett Coots. You just gotta wait a bit, Joshy boy. I've got to get that watch time up, my friend. I've got to get that watch time up. So, for like, in all due respect, I should know like everyone in Australian arm wrestling. And when this match was announced, my first thing was, who is Christian Boz? So, can you give us a bit of a background about Christian Boz?
So, well, perhaps you speak to Christian, and I'll have
Absolutely.
a chat about
Yeah,
Lars.
well, he's from the Canberra, and he's ranked #1 on the left arm. Recently had a very solid training session with the Sydney Spartans, and I think he might have crushed a few of the top names over there on the left arm. He did come through Adelaide through the Titans club probably 2-3 months ago. Just happened to drop by. He didn't say he was coming.
Just came to drop by to beat everybody on left.
Yeah, it's always oh yeah, I've done a little bit of arm wrestling. Yeah, just have a go, and then it's like he's absolutely crushing everybody.
2 months later, he's national champion.
That's right. So he came through the club, and originally he was scheduled up to have a match with the Berserker Las Botha, who unfortunately had to pull out of the match due to injury. But Las was very keen to get on the table with Boss, because he knew straight away that this guy had something special, and he saw the unknown factor.
Well, they gripped up, I think, at training as
Yeah,
well.
that's right.
So they had a bit of a taste, and then it wasn't very shortly thereafter we had a tournament here in Adelaide, and there was a shout out, there was a call out at the conclusion of that tournament where Lass had a bit of a wish list of people he wanted to super match against, and Christian's name was at the top of that list on left hand. So
yeah, well, maybe we'll see that match up in the future when Lass is recovered from his injury. But stepping in his place is one of Australia's most legendary arm wrestling pioneers. Brett Coots, and this man is looking incredible. He put some footage up of him training in the gym recently. My God, he looks like a pro-level bodybuilder. This guy is a formidable man on the table. So there's a little bit of an unknown factor with this matchup. We don't know what level Christian's going to be going against Brett. I mean, Brett is probably the favorite in this match, but we'll see if Christian's up to the task.
You saw some training footage of this poor Christian Boz, and you went, "Oh, awesome! Do you want to come to Adelaide and get your soul destroyed?" And take arguably one of the best left arm wrestlers to ever come across Australia.
All credit to Christian in this situation. Laz did drop out, and then when we mentioned Brett Coots, he salivated. Like this was something he couldn't wait. You know, he wants to test himself against the best, and well, and Brett's dipping his toe back into the water after being away from the competitive table for a little while. So you know, it's a good opportunity for Brett to see how he's competing against those people that are currently holding titles. So let's see how that one washes up.
It should be exciting because it does have that unknown factor. I mean, as I said, we know Brett's history, but going in, we're not sure where Christian's sitting. So whether or not he'll make this a really interesting match.
So it's all in Christian's hands.
It is.
And for those that don't know, like Brett Coots at one stage was like ranked in the top 5 in the world. I think he made it to 5 or 7. Like Brett Coots is a stud. He's one of the strongest guys. I saw him Wednesday night at training. He is looking delicious when it comes to what you want to see in an arm wrestler. And the one thing I am really interested about this match and can't wait for it because a club in Australia has popped out of nowhere in Canberra. Dominic Lorenz and the team over there are doing just such an awesome job. So now there's someone from that club on the big stage with you guys at AWE.
Yeah, amazing. It's so good to see that these clubs are emerging. And every time I look at Queensland, they seem to sprout another club somehow. There's clubs popping up all over the country, which is amazing. Shows that the growth of the sport, which is exactly what we want to see.
When it comes to booking, did anyone try and get Danny Tesh there? Not my monkeys, not my circus says I can't take this event seriously because Danny Tesh isn't there.
Danny is officially retired at this point.
Yeah, that sucks. I like that match. Look, I'm a Victorian guy. I'm going with my Victorian person in Brett Coots. Do I want to see an upset? Absolutely. I want more hungry Australian arm wrestlers beating quality opponents. And then hopefully that motivates Brett to keep going and taking on these big matches. So the next match I want to talk about, Josh Barkey still in the chat. Get ready. I want to talk about Lars and Tom Demkowski. Sorry, Josh. Sorry, Josh Barker. We'll wait for you in a moment. So for those that don't know, we've got a South African superstar on our home soil here. Trains with the South Australian Titans and won the Dave Stockbridge King of the Table Last Man Standing that we were over for late last year, which was incredible. What an event that was. He was the winner. He was the winner there. I really loved that event. And he's taking on Tom Demkowski. He's this, if you don't know him, he's this baby-faced assassin, top roller, smooth. He's very silk on the table. And Lars is a referee's nightmare. So it's like rough versus smooth. And I love that you guys have booked this match.
Well, and just to touch on the referee's role in AWE events as well, because when you look at events internationally, there's certainly no gold standard applied to when it comes to etiquette and courtesy afforded to the referee. As a matter of fact, there's almost none. And it also, you don't want the referee being impacted to the extent or being abused to the extent that it might affect their judgment. Because as we know, arm wrestling is all about, it breaks down to microseconds, and the person that gets that minor advantage can come up with a big win. So in the event, and let's just cast our minds back to most recently with Michael Todd, for instance, and what he had to go through in order to get any kind of adjudication or justice, you might say, on the table and in the moment and in the heat of competition, and the distraction that caused. Well, that won't happen at AWE. So think of how umpires in AFL are treated and now that's pretty much how we're going to apply it in AWE. So if somebody has an issue with the call of the ref, it'll then go to a match umpire. All they've got to do is make the replay symbol, walk away, sit in their corner. The match umpire will review that footage, and then the match umpire's decision will be final. And that'll all be done in a really timely fashion. So that's one of the evolutions, one of the things we wanted to bring to the sport, because we want to keep refs in the sport, and oftentimes they're volunteers, and especially at an amateur level. And if we're going to be paying them money, that we're not paying them to receive abuse. So they're on the table to do a job, and they'll do it as best they can. So we're taking some of that pressure away from the ref and putting it onto the match umpire, who's going to be separate.
Michael Todd, I think.
Yeah, Michael Todd will make the final call. So we'll always defer to Michael Todd, and his decision will be fine.
Well, the reason we wanted to do that was because when we saw Michael being so frustrated in East versus West, he didn't have an avenue of complaint, and you could see him. He was yelling at the referee, and then he was yelling at Engen, and then he was yelling at anybody that would listen to him, because it was like there was no sort of direct path of how do I make a complaint about this decision. Whereas what we've taken,
I want to speak to the manager.
Yeah, that's right. So we've said, okay, well, what can we do better in that situation? Well, you've immediately got the option. If you don't agree with the call, that's fine. You just say, hey, I just want that reviewed. And then you go relax in your corner. You don't need to be standing there being confrontational. It's like, and you go chill out. We'll check out the review, and we'll see and make the decision based off of that. So you do have that path of complaint or
which
objection.
we think for the person that's got the objection, that's healthier for them. They can sit aside, but also for their opponent, who doesn't have to kind of wade their way through, what can be an emotional time for their opponent, and be sitting there, and minutes can tick by. And so it could be used almost as a professional foul situation. So we're enabling our athletes to have 2 calls. So they get the 2 opportunities after that. So they have to be judicious. They can't just call it as a professional foul to buy some time or recovery time. It'll be 2. And then after that, if they've used those 2 up, and then they feel there's been injustice served, well, they don't have any recourse. But we feel by taking it out of the hands of the ref and having the video replay, and somebody who's outside of that moment adjudicating, we feel like 99 times out of 100, the call will be right from the side of the cage. Yeah.
There we go. I'll just knock over some chats, and then we'll quickly talk about that match, because we'll have to keep moving, because we can only go for an hour today. Juju Mugu, thank you very much. He says, if it's arm wrestling, it's Aussie 2023. Ready, bang. Thank you very much. Phil Woody, UK, love what you are doing for the refereeing side of things. Swisher Sweet with a super chat. Thank you. He says, Lars, the map of Australian arm wrestling entertainment. People learn from other mistakes. It's going to be awesome. This one here, some of the questions are flying in, which is good. But this match here, how do you see this match going with Lass and Tommy D?
Well, yeah, well, like you said before, it is clean versus dirty, really. I mean, Lass has a lot of manipulation on his side, and whether he can get away with what he needs to do in that matchup. Yeah, I'd almost put 50-50 on this. It's hard to pick a winner, which is what's exciting. Most of these matchups on these cards, you couldn't just clearly say, oh, that's definitely the favorite. It's 1 or 2, but most of them, it's like, I don't really know. So this one is sort of like that. It's got that unknown factor. I really like that about this match.
I love the fact that Lass always thinks he can win, regardless of who the opponent might be. And so he will do absolutely everything, every little dirty trick in the book, everything, in order to give himself any advantage whatsoever. So I like Lass's determination. I'm going to go with Lass on that one.
All right.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. That's just two people. I can just. It's like, a chihuahua barking at a big dog, and the big dog doesn't react. Like, Tom won't react. Tom will just sit there and just like, hurry up. Like, no, but Lass is exciting amidst all the fun stuff that we're talking about with him arguing the refs. Once that ready go happens, Lass is one of the most exciting arm wrestlers, and not only in Australia, but probably in the world, which is amazing. What is amazing? You have got. That's right, Zadie. I'm talking about that match now. I know you've been banging on about it. We've got the number one 70 kilo Oceanic champion against the number one 80 kilo in Australia. 2 sticks of dynamite. I've watched them pull a few times, and I'm talking about my man, Josh Barker, recently national champion, and then a guy that took some time off but has been back the last 6 or 7 months, and he's from your club, and he is a freak in Taron Broad. This was a no-nonsense. This match had to be on the AWE card.
Well, it's speed versus strength, isn't it? So Josh has got the quickest press that in the AWE. There's no doubt of anybody that's on the table. You're not going to see anybody start any quicker than Josh Barker. Taron's maybe he's the mass monster under 80 kilos. I don't know anybody who's under 80 kilos that's built like Taron Broad. It's he's formidable and strong. So if he can catch that press, he's every chance. But Josh, I know will be practicing his ready goes in the lead up to this in the last week or so. It's too hard to call it. So who gets the first few moments out of that one? But
won and lost in the first second of the match, basically.
Yeah. And you know, if this was over 5 or 6, you might be more Taron's way, but over a few, I think that format maybe favors Josh.
Yeah,
I love hanging out with Josh because anyone that spends time with Josh, you're like, this dude, no way he's a gun arm wrestler. Like, you're kidding himself. And then he just goes, and then and it actually comes with the sound effects. It really does. If anyone's actually, he sounds like a transformer, and his arm, even in the promo video, he just goes whoosh, like that, and it, like that, it comes out here, and you see Taron's got that natural, almost bodybuilder-esque strongman feel. He's got the rounded, like massive shoulders and things like that. And then Josh is just like one straight line, but a big, massive right arm. I love this match. I think it's going to be an absolute blockbuster match. This is something like, if I had the money and all of that, it'd be like, who's having a super match event? You guys having a super match event? Bring this match. There you go. You're booked there. Oh, King of the Table, you having one? Okay, you're opening with these two. East versus West, you're opening with these two. Monster Factory, you guys. So I knew it was a no-brainer. You guys knew it was a no-brainer. So I was genuinely pumped when you actually had it announced, because you announced a couple of matches. I was almost like, come on, boys, give me the match that I want, without telling you. I'm like, come on, hurry up. And then you're like, oh, yeah, we got Josh versus Taron. I was like,
yeah. Well, and maybe Josh does have an advantage here, because Josh does have some MMA experience and has fought in the cage before, which Taron hasn't. So familiar surroundings. So this event is being staged in a ISCA certified MMA cage. So much like an octagon in UFC, and Josh is pretty familiar with that environment. So we'll see if that pays dividends on the day.
He will be pushing off of the cage with both feet.
That's all right. Hey, mate, if you can get more eyes on the sport, I don't care. And if that means feet on the cage and whatnot, I am all for it. That's
the next match is in the basket of a hot air balloon.
Yeah. Guys, that is worth the pay-per-view alone. One of my favorite arm wrestlers, and it's not even for arm wrestling, but we won't talk about why he's becoming one of my favorite arm wrestlers. Oh, there we go. Taron's in the chat. Josh versus Taron 3 times in 6 months. Can Taron win for the 3rd time? But go check out Taron's channel there, guys. Dankus Arm Wrestling. Yeah, I saw them pull in Sydney. They met a few times in the tournament, and it was, that's why I was so excited. I was like, they're going, like, you watch tournaments and you're there all day, and then I look at the card and I'm like, oh, it's Josh and Taron. And I'm like, like pushing old ladies over. I'm like, get out of the way. I'm actually calling this match. I need to see move. Like, given these ones. And no, so it is awesome. So I'm really looking forward to this one. But as I was saying, one of my favorite arm wrestlers is Lachlan Carpenter. He is with some of his we won't talk about it. Quite a funny person.
Let's just say he's very, very talented.
Yeah,
very talented young man.
Very talented, very in depth in what he says. No, so Lachlan Carpenter he's sick of being Mario's friend. He's got a bit of the Iraklis about him. You know, Irakli's good, but he's Levan's training partner. Lachlan's a beast, but he's Mario's mate. You know, that just comes with the territory. And Lachlan is just wanting to create his own legacy, and there's no better than putting him up against Brett Coots. Yeah. It's a real old guard, new guard story. This one, having Brett on the card is a massive coup for us, and for Lachlan to be able to test himself against somebody of Brett's caliber is an exceptional opportunity. And I guess over recent times, there's been some questions from the athletes as to where is their level. You know, they've not had the opportunity to travel, and competitions have been scant over the last couple of years. And you've got some emerging talent like Lachlan Carpenter, who's got an awesome training partner and knows where he sits in comparison to maybe the best heavyweight in the country at the moment. And he's obviously looking to test himself to see exactly where he does sit on that pecking order. And Brett wants to come through and make sure that he's asserting his authority all over the heavyweight league. And I think this one is for the number one contender for the heavyweight belt at AWE 2.
Absolutely.
That makes me happy, Matt. So I'm hearing it. AWE 2. That means we're having another one. It is brilliant. And see you later, Dan the Nightmare. He's got to go. See you later, Dan the Nightmare. Thanks for joining in. You're dead set legend. I do like that there's, you guys are talking about a number 2. Are you dropping any clues of who you would like to have at the next one?
Who we've already got in the works.
Who we've got signed up for that event already and locked in, ready to go. And the event location, all of these things, they're going to, I think you'll hear them first on the Aussie Arm Wrestler channel as soon as that announcement's about to be made. So
as soon as someone accidentally super chats it
as well.
when they're not supposed to.
Definitely tune into the event if you want to know more about it.
We can say that it is another very big name in the arm wrestling world. So we're very happy that this event will be our second, and we can say that we're looking at May as
June.
Yeah.
So, guys, no.
Whenever you got something scheduled,
show because of May, June. Literally, just yesterday said I can't film this TV show because my daughter's birthday is the end of May. We're having her party May 30th, her first birthday.
We were doing this event to celebrate her birthday.
If I miss out on another AWE, I'll be absolutely gutted because I can't make the first one. And then if the second one's on Zadie's birthday week, I'll be absolutely shattered.
We assure you there will be no conflict. We assure you there will not be.
Okay.
But it will be a big event, that's for sure. And we've got somebody very big in the works.
Yeah. So
guys in the chat, try and guess. Who do you think my boys have got? And then as we talk about the rest of the matches, I'll just quietly pop up the names and see if we can get a small reaction or a bit of a head like they've cracked the code. They worked out the clue. So we'll have a guess there. Just quickly before we move on, Matt, Lachlan, Brett, who wins and why?
Wow. I mean, Lachlan's the current open weight heavyweight champion. Brett is more of a left-hand specialist, but it's hard to pick against him.
He looks so good, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And I don't want to make him angry, so I think we go with Brett. But I again could go either way, and you just don't know the answer to that question. That's the really cool thing about most of these matchups. But with this one, we will find out on the 25th.
The winner will be the fans.
Yeah, the big fan. Yeah.
Did someone say cop out? Get off the bench there, Connelly. Get off the fence. Who do you think's going to win? I'm not sure. The fans. The fans win.
What about you, Mr.
Brett wins.
Ward?
I've got to see
Brett
Brett Coots
wins.
next week. What's
Lachlan.
your response?
I love Lachlan, but I think after seeing Brett on Wednesday night, I was like, wow. And Lachlan being young and watching him at Garage Wars last year, Lachlan's just got a lead. I love Lachlan, and he's going to be a big name in Australia if he's not already. But a little bit of maturity in tough situations. You know, Lachlan can fire off and he's F this and rah, rah. And then, you know what I mean? And that can really play off where Brett's done this. He's done it before and he's done it before. So, but I think Brett wins. Some of the guesses: Bowen versus Zoe, Bowen versus Levan, Bowen versus Pickup. I think everyone's saying Bowen. Quick question: did you create the Intercontinental titles to ensure the winner returns?
In some part, yeah. So in our agreements, there is a requirement for the title holder to defend that title within a certain time period, or that belt lapses, and we reoffer it. So that's very definitely part of the strategy, indeed.
Yeah, I do like it, and a lot of the times, I'm big on storytelling. I'm big on meaning. You have the word entertainment in your, in the title of your company. So, okay, Ryan's pulling Toddzilla. Hang on, it's for the Intercontinental Championship, the AWE Intercontinental Championship. Oh shit, this match has meaning. Toddzilla comes back to defend his title. An Australian wants the title to stay here. Storytelling, meaning.
Might not even be an Australian.
Yeah, a lot of the times we have matches, and no disrespect to some of the elite promotions, but they're matches for the sake of matches. I think these two will have a good match. Where I look at the card, we just spoke about the number 170 versus the number 180. You've got a match to become the number one contender. We've got the number one junior match, which we'll talk about now. Like, your matches have meanings, and we'll talk about the backstory with Mario and Guntus. When Guntus come to your event and Mario pulled out last minute, and he only come to meet Mario. So let's dive into the under 18s event. My man is taking on your man. My man, Jamie Barrett. My man, the number one junior in Australia, Jamie Barrett. I met this kid late
unofficial number one. This is Jake Ward, appointed number one. Ryan Bowen,
the number endorsed. One junior. My word has value. So, but it's going to be good. And I saw his opponent, the Hammer, Hazma, in action when I came over to
one of the few people that have seen both on the table.
One of the few that manages to say Harms's name differently every single time.
Yeah, I will.
Now, the good news is Harms's uncle will be at the event, and we'll be seated at the back of the grandstand. You'll still be able to hear him audibly over the mics. That's the good news for fans.
He'll be commentating.
So for those that don't know, there was the Titans put on a tournament. And Hamza was on fire. And his uncle, after every match, was hilarious. Screaming F-bombs at it. You're killing him. No, you're killing him.
Half English, half Bosnian. Yeah.
And he threw me under the bus because Matt and I were doing commentating. And I was like, oh, who's that? And Hollywood's like, oh, that's Husman's uncle. And I'm like, you know what the good thing about it is? He's cheering for Hamza. He's not attacking anyone else. The next match, like 30 seconds later, he gets stuck into Tim Graham. And he's like, yeah, that's that. And I was like, oh, no. Yeah. Oh, no.
I think the
He's
words
let me
"get a
down.
haircut, you hippie" or something
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
thrown in there.
It made me look like a right pillock, and I was like, "Oh, there we go." But guys, this match for the number one junior spot in Australia officially, I believe, at your event officially.
It's actually for the AWE junior, so it will determine who is once and for all the number one junior in the country. But essentially, it'll set it up for international events in the future. So, I'm sure once we've decided this question, which I don't think these athletes had the chance to at the Australian Nationals, as it was staged in a casino, meaning that the junior athletes just couldn't even attend, which is a shame. They couldn't even watch their idols on the table, and but nor could they compete. So this is the first opportunity to get these two athletes across the table to decide once and for all who is number one in the country, but who walks away out of that cage with a strap over their shoulder. And there will be a strap, there will be a belt hanging over one of these young men's
Do you
shoulder.
have one with you now?
We've got three. I do have a belt, but not one of the title belts as yet, as they will arrive early next week. But
This is Dave's belt.
That's Dave's belt. I have seen Dave's belt on the show before.
So there will be one of the athletes will actually have a legitimate belt, not just one that's that's been gifted. But there will be a belt on the line, and there'll be 3 belts on the line for the event. So the Intercontinental, the Junior, and the Heavyweight. So, but whoever walks away from that, we've answered the question as to who the best is in the country. Then who's the best junior in the world? That's the next question to answer. So, whoever walks away will have to answer that question next.
It's brilliant. Are you guys going to predict your boy, or are you going to use common sense and predict Jamie?
I'm going for Hamza's uncle. No, I'm going to go with Hamza. Each and every time you see him, he's grown another inch and put on 5 kilos. By the time he turns up on Friday week, it's going to be like this. He could be 110 kilos and 6'7". We just don't know. I'm going to go with Hamza.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Hamza is incredibly strong, and he learns so fast, and he's been learning. He's only been in the sport just over a year, and it's like, he destroyed me in a super match. He's beaten a lot of the top guys in the club. He went over to Melbourne and Garage Wars and won his match so convincingly. They said, "Actually, do you want to have another one?"
Yeah,
all right. And then he destroyed that person as well. So. Yeah, this will be a great matchup, and obviously Jamie's got the experience side of it, but it'll be exciting, and we will have $100 bet on this. Is what we're saying, Jake? You'll pick your boy, we'll pick ours.
Oh, we're putting a couple of dollary doos on it.
Would you like to go?
Lock it in, Eddie. Lock it in. I'm not backing down from anyone. I am not backing down from anyone. It'll be 6 a.m. when I'm watching this match in Dubai, and I'll be the first one to message you my PayPal address and say, I don't want it in my PayPal. That's getting away with it too easy. I want someone to film you two going to the ATM, withdrawing $50 each, and then that sweet sensation the next time we meet up, you guys handing the money. It's good. And like you guys were saying before, Hamza, he's just a great kid, good set of head on his shoulders, as well as Jamie, but everyone knows how much I speak highly of Jamie. But spending time with the Hammer, which is ironically ironic. Where's my internet? Oh no. There we go. We're back. Sorry about that. I don't know what's happened. It's getting to 38 degrees at the moment here, so it might play out on the internet.
First time it's happened in Melbourne.
Yeah. So I am definitely looking forward to it. That for me is worth the pay-per-view alone. Jonathan Peach just quickly wants to know: do you have any female matchups in the future?
We'd love to.
We just don't have female arm wrestlers here.
Right? It's difficult.
Yeah.
We want to put on the best of the best, and
I'll say this: we're not into tokenism, so it's not going to be a girls' matchup for the sake of having girls on the table. It'd have to be a matchup of consequence that answers some questions. It'd have to be something pretty special, I would say, at this stage, because we want to put on the very best matchups, and from our perspective, until those athletes emerge, we're probably going to reserve the right to not proceed in that. This is AWE. It's not a quota system. So.
Yeah, love it. Absolutely love it. I don't love B Sims though. He says, I trust anyone who gives themselves the nickname Hollywood. Trace, thank you very much for the kind words. Juju Mugu, mate. What the bloody hell? Why are you suggesting other commentators? Suggest me, you jerk.
On your channel.
Yeah, I know. It's like now they're going to sit there and go, oh, maybe we could get Travis. Oh, thanks, Jake.
I hadn't even thought of that until then. Interesting.
You bloody bastards. You bloody bastards.
Of course, we would have loved to have you, Jake, but, prior commitments and bigger stages and,
I'm bringing Zadie with me to the next one. Her birthday party will be at AWE too. This matchup I want to talk about. I'm only joking, Juju. This next matchup, probably one of the most exciting arm wrestlers, not only in Australia, but I've got him probably in my top 10 in the Supermatch format, and that's Adam Laura. Adam Laura is one of the most exciting Supermatch pullers, and he's going against one of the Brisbane 8, the famous Brisbane 8, the giant of a man. What is he like? 6'4", 6'5", 160 kegs. Marcus Atira.
Yeah, this is a battle of the biggest of the big, isn't it? We're going to have to reinforce the cage. I don't know if it's certified to carry over 300 kilos of man at the one time. Yeah. This is just going to be an absolute show.
Imagine the force going through that's like between these two arms, and that much body weight and that much power just in that middle of the table. It's going to be incredible.
Yeah, two huge athletes, and yeah.
Oh, that scares me for an arm break. Like Adam
That gets me
Laura
excited just seeing the promo for that one. It's like, I love seeing the big guys. Like, there's nothing like the spectacle. It's nice when you got the smaller guys technical, they're quick, but when you just get two mass monsters in the same place at the same time, they dwarf the table. And it's just for me, that's what I'm really looking forward to. That one.
It's very cool. It's really amazing.
It's the only match I'll allow someone else to commentate. And if you land David Attenborough to commentate these two animals in the cage, I'll be okay with that one. And Marcus Atira, I will feel like at home. He's done a bit of MMA himself. So when he steps into the cage, I can imagine all that feeling, all that adrenaline. For me, I think probably because I've spent a lot of time with Adam and I really like Adam. I think his experience will get him over the line, but just the sheer Polynesian power that these guys bring, just that natural raw whack, is going to make this match nothing short of exciting.
Yeah. So as though he's just built for combat and strength sports. Like it's it's just going to be exciting to see those two clash in the middle of the cage. It's going to be a spectacle.
Oh, a spectacle it is. Guys, before we get to the heavyweight championship match, it's Ryan Bowen's channel. As you can see, Ryan's not making any money. The more people that buy pay-per-views, I mean, just hanging out with these two guys, they're just proper good people and people we need in the sport. Like Matt Connelly has organised events with Dave, and these two both arm wrestle, and not once have they thought about getting themselves over. It's always been about arm wrestling. It's like, I might just sneak on the card. Let's have a Dave versus Matt. Or, what's a good match for me? These blokes are just all about arm wrestling. And, if you're one of those people that do not like Ryan Bowen, the money that you're putting in for the pay-per-view has got nothing to do with Ryan. It's like a raffle ticket. You can win money. It's supporting these two guys who I have a lot of time for. Love just sitting and having a beer and attending their events. Got a lot of time for these two. So please, if you can, guys, go to Ryan's channel, buy the pay-per-view membership. Make sure it says Ryan Bowen versus Toddzilla membership. Support these two guys because they're nothing short of amazing in order for arm wrestling to be big in Australia and on an international stage. If that's anything I could
and important to note as well that not the whole card is pay-per-view. So it's only the title fights and Adam and Marcus's. That's where it kicks off. So basically the card is free to then, and then the pay-per-view kicks in. So people will be able to tune in and then they'll get it. And you're quite right. Ryan's using this as a chance to celebrate 100,000 subscribers and as a way of giving back to the community. So if you do happen to stump up your $10 US to watch the event, somebody like you will win the prize pool.
Yeah.
I mean, this is absolutely amazing. So whatever money was left after expenses in terms of getting the athlete over, and in this case, Toddzilla, everything outside of that is going to end up in somebody's pocket, just like you, who's just an arm wrestling fan that's chucked their $10 on the line, and it gets a great show, but also the chance to win potentially thousands and thousands of dollars. So jump in.
Yeah, and I've officially declared myself that I cannot win the money because I'm a member, because I'm going to be watching the pay-per-view. I'm a member, but I've told Ryan, do not put my mate. Could you imagine the internet blowing up? And it's like, oh, the winner of the raffle. Is the Aussie arm wrestler. A guy who would love to do some business with you in the future is my arm gods superstar, Marcus Thompson, one of the biggest supporters of the channel.
Amazing guy, Marcus Thompson. We always appreciate every time I see Marcus in there supporting arm wrestling around the world. I think he's in every single chat that comes up and that people have.
His notifications must go nuts. Yes. He doesn't get any work done. It's just, hang on, I've got it live.
What a wonderful
and
guy.
The man
and arm
can
gods. Hopefully,
drink.
They'll have their next event and it will take off.
He can put down a few beers as well. I can't. I'll have one or two, and he'll go for about 1 or 2 days straight. But thanks for jumping in, Marcus. We are only going for another 6 minutes because unfortunately I've got a big important family due at 10 o'clock, and it takes half an hour to get there. So please, I do apologize. But the heavyweight match, Mario Tambakis, the people's champion. Everyone who has met Mario automatically has love heart eyes emojis. Taking on a man that's got his eye on him for a very long time in the Giant Gunters.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's all I can say for this matchup.
Wow.
Yeah, well, this is exciting for me because I know where Mario is at in terms of we've seen his recent match history. He went over to the US and did amazingly well. He's come back. He's won the under 100 kilo national title. Fantastic guy, looking like he's improving all the time. And then you've got the mysterious through the mist figure of Gunters Bykovs that was always sort of, hiding in the wings. And he was retired when I first started in the sport, and that was 4 years ago. So I never saw him competing or anything like that, but he was always, because he lives in South Australia, it was always the mystery, the legend of Gunters, and, meeting him a few times and getting on the table, and, he hadn't trained for years, and he's literally just destroyed every single person in the club like it was nothing. So obviously getting back into shape and lining himself up for this match, and he was very excited to face off against Mario last year at the Titans Open tournament. Unfortunately, Mario wasn't able to make it, which you could tell Gunters was crushed. He didn't find out till on the actual day that Mario wasn't there. And he, instead of taking part in the tournament, which I think he would have handily crushed everyone, he said, "Oh, look, I'll let you guys do it, and maybe we'll meet.
I'll come back another time."
Yeah, Mario's in his crosshairs now. So,
but that speaks a lot of Gunters, because he was there. There was money on the line. You were offering, it was, I think, 500 for the winner and 500 for overalls from memory. You guys will correct me if I'm wrong. But then for him to say someone else can win the money. I thought that was nice of him because he could have just beauty, couple of hours work, $1,000. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I don't even know if he would have got warmed up.
No.
But so and Gunther's has made a different things. And just recently, too, he's got two lads that are teenagers that are very much built like Gunther's as well. And they've been dragging Dad along to the gym. So over the last 6 or so months. So you're seeing a new version of Gunther's that perhaps hasn't been seen on the table before. So this is, and as you might have seen in the promo video, he's doing chin-ups on the ends of his fingers and for reps. And he's 125 plus kilos at the moment.
125 and 6'4" or something like that, 6'5".
Yeah,
probably 40 something.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. And that's for the AWE heavyweight championship.
That'll decide the heavyweight champion.
Wow. Now, one of the main questions is just give everyone logistics and everything don't tend to work our way, but everyone's like, why isn't Lachlan Adair on the card?
He's not strong enough. So we're waiting. So we're just waiting for him to get to the level, and once he's there, we'll enter into negotiations. No, I think a pending announcement will reveal all, and of course AWE 2 and 3 are being shaped as we speak by
and 3. And 3 AWE 3, yeah,
and 4 as well.
4
and
is
4.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to Disneyland. Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
that's what I like. But
yeah,
I was explaining to people that Lachlan, there's Ryan and Lachlan, and then that's, they destroy everyone in Australia at that moment. So when you had the trouble with Chance and everything that was going on, to then land another international superstar is hard work. But you've obviously got him something really good for AWE.
I want to tell, but I'm like, no. I won't. But so exciting.
Lachlan's a great talent, and we do have to look internationally to find somebody of a caliber for Lachlan now. I think I think the world's going to see something pretty special out of Lachlan over the next 2 or 3 years, and we feel that journey's about to begin in a big way. So,
well, you know what to do in the chat, guys. Let's see if we can crack the code. I feel like we're on a game show. See if we can crack the code. Chuck your names in contestants and you can win prizes if you can crack a smile and find out who Lachlan Adair's opponents win. We're going to give prizes. It's brilliant. But seriously, guys, drop who you think or who you would like to see. Lachlan pull at AWE 2. I'll tell you what, I might even if the money's right, guys, you might see the biggest.
I don't know if we've got that properly.
It's made its appearance. The most electrifying trophy in all of sports entertainment, right there. Missing one arm.
Yeah,
I'm on it. Marcus Thompson, you ultimate dead set legend. We've got about 90 seconds left on the show. Support AWE guys on their first promotion. I know I'm excited. Can't wait. Smash it, boys. Arm gods. We brought more men. Hearing, I laughed at that chant. I thought it was rubbish. And then I heard it, right? Paul Maiden was the first one. He's like, gods, what is your profession? And 100 people, or however many are in the room, every single one of them chanted it. Not going to lie, got an erection. It was awesome. So now I'm a part of it. I thought it was mega. It was brilliant. I absolutely loved it.
Thank you, Marcus.
Matt and Dave, do you want to tell everyone all the social medias? How can we support not only buying the pay-per-view, but how can we support in other avenues AWE?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got the AWE pages all set up across all the platforms there on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everything under the sun. We've also got the Matt Hollywood Connelly pages and YouTube channels, and the SA Titans as well. So you'll find content all over the place.
But, importantly, if you want your chance to win the prize pool from the main event, then what you do need to do is head over to Ryan Bowen's channel. Make sure that you're a member. You can watch the card for free until the pay-per-view kicks in. And then if you're already a member, that will just happen automatically. And it's $10 and away you go. And thank you very much, Drew, for posting the link there, and get on it and give yourself a chance to win and watch seriously some of the best matchups you're ever likely to see.
Main event, Ryan Bowen, Toddzilla. We got 30 seconds.
20.
Yeah, it's just before
Ryan
that.
Bowen,
If you are, what's the best way? If you're an international superstar, if you're a local person and you want to try and get yourself on an AWE card, because I'm not one to sit on my hands and wait. I will make the call. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I'm getting to where I am. What's the best way to get in contact with you? Or if another promotion want to team up and say maybe Arm Gods versus AWE, just saying.
Yeah, that'll be the best way. Send me a direct message on either Instagram or on Facebook. So Hollywood Matt Connelly, Matt Connelly 13 is on Instagram, and Hollywood Matt Connelly on Facebook page. You could message the AWE page as well, and we all see it, we all find it.
And if you want to date with Matt, same protocol, just DM where you go. Yep.
Slide in the DMs. All right, 30 seconds each, guys. Give me a thing. Ryan Bowen, Toddzilla, main event.
Yeah, I think we already have it 6-0 Ryan's way. I think that's obvious. So I'll just leave it at that.
Matt?
This is an opportunity for Ryan to really prove that he belongs at the elite level. And this man is no scared of taking on the biggest challenges he possibly can. And there is no greater challenge than the side pressure king of Toddzilla. So this will be amazing. If he can get a stop, if he can get a pin out of one round, that's going to be a win morally, I think, for Ryan.
And just finally, I will say the world hasn't seen 110 kilo Ryan Bowen on the table yet. And so we do have weigh-ins next Friday, and we'll see exactly where each and every athlete ends up. There's only the one catch weight. So we're just encouraging all of our athletes to get as big as possible. And we're just doing the weigh-ins to find out how big they actually got. So
now the most important question that's flying around the internet. Has this match already happened?
3 weeks ago.
That's the only answer. That is the only answer.
It'll be
guys,
live,
if we can support these guys as much as possible. AWE Arm Wrestling Entertainment. It is on about 9-10 hours before King of the Table. I'll be sharing as many links leading up to it. It is next weekend. Go and check it out. Dave and Matt, thank you so much for jumping into the studio, and thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us, Jake.
Thanks, mate.
We'll see you Dead Set Legends a little later.